Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome you all today to this high-level meeting of member states and stakeholders to consolidate on the gains of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement anchored pharmaceutical initiative and its transitioning to the startup phase of the African Pooled Procurement Mechanism led by Africa CDC. Let me start by expressing my sincere gratitude to the senior officials of participating member states who continue to provide invaluable support to this initiative. The Economic Commission for Africa recognizes the central role played collectively by the 10 pilot countries since the Pharma initiative was commissioned in 2019. The objective of this high-level meeting are for participating member states to provide guidance on the roadmap to integrate and implement Pharma initiative within the startup phase of the Africa Pooled Procurement Mechanism, recognizing the imperative to promote local pharmaceutical production according to internationally recognized quality standards. The past 5 years of conceptualizing and implementing the Pharma initiative featured strong collaboration and support by our key partners. We wish to recognize the African Union Commission, the AfCFTA Secretariat, the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Africa CDC, the African Union Development Agency, AUDA-NIPAD, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, the World Health Organization, WHO, United Nations Development Coordination Office, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, and the Joint United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS for the support and commitment to the initiative. As we envisaged in the Pharma initiative, 3 prolonged approach consisting of 1, local manufacturing, 2, pooled procurement, and 3, regulatory standards harmonization. We have been able to undertake feasibility studies and develop a technical design for pooled procurement. We focused on robust country engagements to identify a clear roadmap and lay out operational foundation to support the pilot pooled procurement of selected medicines vital for maternal and child health. As the AfCFTA-anchored pharmaceutical initiative pooled procurement transitions to the startup phase of Africa Pooled Procurement Mechanism under the leadership of the Africa CDC and with the support from ECA and Afrexim Bank, we remain committed to working with our partners and countries to realize the shared objective of building resilient economies through strong pharmaceutical sector for a self-sufficient Africa to leave no one behind. As a continent with 1.4 billion population, 18% of the world population, it's imperative that we learn from the vulnerabilities exposed by the pandemic and the recent health emergencies, the evolving burden of disease pandemics, and the linkages existing challenges in order to attain sustainable and inclusive development in Africa. Key communicable diseases like HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and neglected tropical diseases remain a challenge, and the continent is yet to attain the global targets, including the expected vaccine coverage for our children. In addition, the non-communicable disease burden is also increasing in Africa. Opportunities provided by continental initiatives such as the Pharma Manufacturing Plan for Africa and benefits accruing from the implementation of the AfCFTA and the African Medicines Agency will significantly contribute to fulfilling Africa's aspiration to strengthen local manufacturing and kick-starting the envisaged fourth industrial revolution. Given that the health business opportunities in Africa are projected to reach $259 billion by 2030, the pharmaceutical value chain will need to focus on the following. 1, market shaping initiatives. 2, stronger local production. 3, enhancing standards of quality and stringent regulations. And 4, implementing complementary policies for trade and innovation through multi-sectoral interventions. In this regard, ECA will continue to leverage its convening power and technical expertise to help member states create the necessary ecosystem, including leveraging the role of trade, investment, intellectual property, digitalization, debt management, green recovery, and the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement implementation. When historians write about the 21st century, they will judge us as policymakers and stakeholders, not only by our reactions during the pandemic, but also our choices that followed. If we emerge from a post-COVID-19 pandemic with old inequalities unaddressed and new opportunities unrealized, our shared sacrifice will have been in vain. So let us commit to rebuilding a healthier, more just, more sustainable continent. Let us also pledge to put sufficient political will and resources behind this commitment. The time for action is now, when our experience with the pandemic and the lessons we can draw from it are still fresh. A better normal is possible. We must act boldly to make it a reality. I call upon all of us to play our part in driving this initiative, and I wish you all a pleasant stay and fruitful deliberations at the conference. Thank you.